Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a news cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agbofwegwe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free-to-air all night comes out. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has criticized President Bola Tinubu for allegedly making false claims of achievements in his 64th Independence Day speech. The opposition party claims that the president's speech exposed the ruling All Progressives Congress's insensitivity to the struggles of Nigerians. However, in a reaction, the ruling party described the PDP as a party simply seeking relevance. In the same vein, the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, has criticized the 30-day National Youth Conference announced by President Bola Tinubu in his Independence Anniversary broadcast. The national coordinator of the association, Emmanuel Owumbiko, says the conference is a superficial attempt to engage with the youth while ignoring the pressing issues confronting Nigeria's young population. In a related development, the Fearless in October protests recorded a low turnout in the Federal Capital Territory and across states amidst the heavy presence of security operatives. Organizers of the protests, the Take It Back movements, rejected the planned 30-day National Youth Confab announced earlier by President Bola Tinubu. The group described the initiative as a jamboree allegedly designed to reward the president's supporters.
Marked by violence.
Let's turn to other stories for you. President Bola Tinubu has departed Abuja for the United Kingdom to begin a 2-week vacation. Special Advisor on Information and Strategy to the President, Bayo Onanuga, says the vacation is part of Tinubu's yearly leave, noting that he will use the 2 weeks as a working vacation and retreat to reflect on his administration's economic reforms. No fewer than 66 countries are expected to participate in the 7th edition of the Kano Indigenous Languages of Africa Film Markets and Festival, also called KILAF, scheduled for 30th November 2024. The event, which will be held on 30th November, will be chaired by Professor Emmanuel Emashalu, and a list of nominated films has been released for the KILAF 2024 awards. The KILAF's founder and Chief Executive Officer Abdul Karim Mohammed stated this while addressing a news conference at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center in Kano. KILAF, Africa's Indigenous Languages annual film event that started in 2018, is a festival aimed at promoting such films and encouraging their cross-border sales. Niger State Emergency Management Agency has confirmed a report that a boat conveying no fewer than 300 passengers has capsized on River Niger upstream Jaba Dam in Bajibo Community, Mokwa local government area. The agency, in a statement signed by its Director General, Abdullahi Ara, says the boat was sailing from Mundi community with a population of almost 300. It stated that so far about 150 travelers have been rescued, while efforts are on to rescue the remaining persons. As Nigerians continue to mark this year's Independence Day anniversary, residents in Kano are expressing concerns over the current social and economic problems of Nigeria. Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that many Nigerians believe there is not much to celebrate at the moment.
Nigeria faces some of the same old problems, creating jobs and feeding its poor, as well as the more recent and more brutal challenges of insecurity. Look at what is happening in this country. Insecurity is everywhere, banditry and kidnapping. Healthcare is very poor. There is no water supply. 64 years down the line, Kano people argued that Nigerians are still struggling to access basic necessities of life, while the nation's political elites enjoys widespread corruption. You see, I personally believe that our leaders have put us into an unnecessary hardship. Corruption is everywhere in this country, and because of that corruption, they refuse to allow the nation to progress because we are better than so many African countries. Despite these challenges, some Nigerians believe that there may be a light at the end of the tunnel, especially with prayers and commitment to nation building.
samun yancin kai alhamdulillah
I don't believe that Nigeria did not achieve anything within the last 64 years. There were so many achievements in this country, and despite the problems we are having, I believe that things will change by the special grace of God. This is a thought of a strategic thinking that evoke hope of a brighter future for Nigeria. That even in time of harsh economic realities, some Nigerians are not actually giving up. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
Let's stay in Kano State now, where youths have shown the Fearless in October protest as residents were seen going about their daily business. Again, Global Television correspondent Idris Jibrin, who went around the state, reports that markets and other business centers continued to remain open.
Marred by violence, looting and destruction of both public and private properties, the End Bad Governance protest seems to have taught the people of Kano some vital lessons. Hence, the need to shun the protest scheduled for October 1. Trust me when I say we, the people of Kano, do not withstand unnecessary distraction that may expose our business to security threat. The last protest was a problem to us, and basically this is why this time around we cannot go out and protest. Residents say the last protest would likely have same impact as the one in August, leading to avoidable destruction of property and possible loss of lives. Every sensible human being will tell you that the last protest in Kano was a serious distraction, and what we wanted to achieve hasn't been achieved. Insecurity is everywhere, hunger is everywhere. Across the commercial city of Kano, residents are going about their normal activities with no sign of any group coming out to protest. I think the only thing we need to do is to pray for God's intervention instead of going out on the streets to protest. Even the last one that happened, I believe, was a mistake. And the people of Kano State don't want to repeat that same mistake. Although most Nigerians have continued to face hardship in the face of increasing prices of goods and services across the country, but residents in Kano are saying that instead of going out for protest, it is better to pray for Nigeria's peaceful coexistence. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Idris, for that reporting all the way from Kano for us. Senator representing Borno South, Mohammed Undume, has called on President Bola Tinubu to temporarily hire the services of those he called military contractors to wipe out the remnants of Boko Haram terrorists in Borno State. Undume, who hailed the gallant performance of the military and civilian JTF, said they were ill-equipped to carry out the task of eliminating the remaining insurgents who, according to him, continue to operate within. Some residents of Edo State have besieged the Independent National Electoral Commission Annex office in Benin City, the state capital, demanding the recovery of what they claim is the rightful mandate of their preferred candidate, Asue Ighodalo of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Chanting solidarity songs in Yoruba language, the crowd, consisting of supporters from various local government areas, accused the commission of manhandling the election results and called for immediate action to address what they described as electoral injustice. Zamfara State government has intensified its efforts in routine polio immunization as the state initiated a house-to-house vaccination campaign extending to religious centers and schools to immunize eligible children against polio. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Aisha Anka, while going around Gusau and Bungudu local government areas of the state to supervise the polio vaccination campaign, the ongoing polio vaccination is to maintain and sustain its status of not a single polio case in the state for the past 1 year. Queen Agaba has details.
Polio routine immunization in Zamfara State is a public health initiative aimed at protecting children from the polio virus, which can cause paralysis or death. The State Commissioner for Health, Aisha Anka, who was in some parts of Gusau and Bungudu local government areas of the state to monitor the ongoing polio vaccination campaign, said the Dauda Lawal administration is committed to the well-being of the residents, and this informed the robust campaign on polio vaccination and support to the health sector.
Okay, we are here for supervision for this polio campaign that is ongoing. His Excellency has directed me to ensure that all the citizens of Zamfara State get the right healthcare services that they deserve. In Zamfara State, quality health services is a right of a citizen, not a privilege.
Director of Immunization, Zamfara Primary Healthcare Board, says the campaign aims to ensure comprehensive coverage and prevent the resurgence of the polio virus by reaching children in all communities, religious centers, schools, and communities, including remote areas.
So, as the Honorable Commissioner rightly said, it was a collective effort of the all that are involved. But the major reason why we succeed now is because of the leadership that we currently enjoy in the state.
Director of Public Health in the ministry, Dr. Yusuf Abubakar, explained that there is house-to-house and special teams who take the polio vaccination campaign to religious centers, schools, and internally displaced persons camp.
We are enjoying a very, unimaginable, leadership in the health sector. You can see the Honorable Commissioner is here, so that is why you see everybody, is here. All the, including volunteer, everybody is here to support this campaign.
Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal had declared a state of emergency in the health sector to reposition the health sector and improve the health status of residents, which perhaps the ongoing polio vaccination campaign is one of the commitments to realize that goal. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Away from Queen Agaba's report now, let's turn to Bayelsa State, where a high court sitting in Yenagoa, the state's capital, has sentenced one Daniel Amaso to life imprisonment for raping a 17-year-old pre-degree student of the state-owned Niger Delta University in Amasoma. Amaso was charged with rape and robbery and causing grievous harm before Honorable Justice Christine Kombo Enegesi. He was consequently found guilty of the 3 counts and sentenced to life imprisonment for the offenses of rape and armed robbery and 7 years for the offense of inflicting grievous harm. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Cycle returns, correspondent spotlights one of the busiest markets in Kano and highlights some of its spectacular features. We'll let you in on that and more after this break. Do stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Agmofwegbe. Thank you so very much for your time. Now let's talk business. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has stated that Nigeria recorded a reduction in petrol importation following the removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Tinubu in May 2023. It also says the total of fuel imports reduced to 20.30 billion litres in 2023 from the 23.54 billion litres recorded in 2022, indicating a decrease of 13.77% year-on-year. It says this is in the latest petroleum products distribution statistics released by the agency, as it noted that petrol imports dropped by 3.58 billion litres in the second half of 2023 when compared to the year's first half. Yankaba is one of the busiest markets within the metropolitan city of Kano. It is early morning trading section, and it tells a story of how merchants from around the north are trading there on a daily basis. In this special report, Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin visited the Yankaba early morning market to tell our viewers how busy and business is booming despite persistent price increase of goods and essential services.
Kano is commercially viable, and the people of Kano knows exactly how to do business at any time of the day. This place, for instance, is where vegetables and other perishable goods are sold in Kano. It's called Yankaba Morning Market, which operate at between 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. This our market starts in the morning from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. If you come here 11 a.m., you will not see anybody. The Yankaba Morning Market is largely patronized by restaurant owners, fast food joints, among other households. It's a market supplying vegetables to other markets in Kano. This market is not only serving the people of Kano. You will see people from different parts of the country coming here to buy vegetables. People from Jigawa, people from Bauchi, people from Katsina. The demand is always high here because supply is often very low, which is leading to price increase of the products. You see, in the last couple of months, the price of vegetable have been very, very cost. But we thank God, and I think now is the season of vegetable. So some are going high, some are going low. While this market continues to thrive in Kano, residents are hopeful that the persistent high cost of living occasioned by the increase in price of goods and services will significantly reduce in the next coming days. From Kano, Idris Jibrin reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you so very much, Idris Jibrin, for the very valuable insights shared from Yankaba Markets all the way from Kano State, northwest Nigeria. The federal government says it is expanding its subsidized rice program to alleviate food insecurity in the country, with sales set to launch in Lagos, Kano, and Borno states, as according to a director at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Early in September, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Minister Abubakar Kyari had announced the launch of the 40,000 per 50 kilogram subsidized rice in Abuja, stating that the initiative is part of a broader strategy to ensure that no Nigerian goes to bed hungry. He stated that the subsidized program aims to provide relief to citizens and amid soaring market prices. The current market price of 50 kilograms bag of rice is about 90,000 naira. It is close to 100,000 in some other locations across the country. On the foreign scene, U.S. Senator and Republican Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance and Minnesota Governor and Democratic Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz were asked at the beginning of their debate whether they would support or oppose a preemptive strike by Israel on Iran in a presidential debate hosted in New York City.
Iran, which launched this attack, has received over $100 billion in unfrozen assets thanks to the Kamala Harris administration. What do they use that money for? They use it to buy weapons that they're now launching against our allies and, God forbid, potentially launching against the United States as well.
Look, Donald Trump was in office. We'll sometimes hear a revisionist history, but when Donald Trump was in office, it was Donald Trump who we had a coalition of nations that had boxed Iran's nuclear program in, the inability to advance it. Donald Trump pulled that program and put nothing else in its place. So Iran is closer to a nuclear weapon than they were before because of Donald Trump's fickle leadership.
Still in the United States now, and on a sad note, Hollywood veteran John Amos, best known for his iconic roles in Coming to America and the beloved 1970s sitcom Good Times, has passed away at the age of 84. According to a statement by his son, Kelly Christopher Amos, the actor died of natural causes on August 21. In an emotional tribute, Kelly expressed deep sorrow over his father's death, describing him as a man with a, quote, heart of gold, end of quote, who left a lasting impression on fans around the world. The federal government and the United States Agency for International Development have collaborated to drive technological innovation and sustainable development initiatives in the country. This was disclosed in a statement by the Director of Media and Corporate Communications at the National Space Research and Development Agency, Dr. Felix Ale. The statement noted that their discussions focused on harnessing technology to address pressing developmental challenges in Nigeria. The collaboration was formalized during the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, where Nigeria's Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Nanji, met with the agency's Chief Innovation Officer, Mohamed Abdel Kadir. The United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has been declared a persona non grata and banned from entering Israel following the latest attacks from Iran. Israel's Prime Minister and Foreign Ministry, Israel Katz, made the declaration over Guterres' silence on Iran's latest attack on his country. Iran had launched over 180 ballistic missiles into Israel. And in sports, Manchester City midfielder Matheus Nunes has reportedly been arrested on suspicion of stealing a mobile phone at a nightclub in Madrid, Spain. The 26-year-old Portuguese international was allegedly detained in the early hours of September 8 at La Liviera, a popular disco, and taken to a local police station for questioning. Kevin Martins, the 19-year-old son of former Super Eagles striker Obafemi Martins, has made an impressive senior debut for Monza in the Coppa Italia round of 16. The young winger played a pivotal role in his team's 3-1 victory over Brescia, displaying his talent and potential on the field 2012. And that's a full cycle on the news here, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder for our viewers that Global Television is live on DSTV, channel 365, and Gold TV 276. You can also catch us